La 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 la. Check, 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 check. Yes, yes, the Casanovians. All right, boys, in this live stream, I want to teach you how to be a god over all of your dating problems. So, for the right person, this is going to be a game-changing piece of content. That's the energy that I move with whenever I create these pieces of Casanovian art. It's just to make my free content better than everybody else's paid content. I don't have any course to sell you. I don't have the classic $997 with a 30-day money-back guarantee. I don't have a low-ticket $47 a month school community that I'm trying to funnel you into. I just have one product, one offer. It's called the Entourage. It's my private community for guys who are serious about getting a handle on not just their dating life, but life game in general. Yeah, becoming the most fuckable versions of themselves internally and externally, so they can actually tap into the potential they know they have, rather than sleepwalking their way through life and waking up when the best years are behind them. I found that the way that we win in any realm of life is by surrounding ourselves with winners. Yeah, you surround yourself with winners, you win. Yeah, having a group of guys that can push you, who can guide you, who can support you, just to give you that kick up the ass accountability at times to help you become all you can be. I think that's invaluable. So that's why I put my community, the Entourage, together. It's really expensive. I don't expect you to join it, but you can download my free courses if you resonate with me and you like what I do. So how to be a god over all your dating problems. I'm going to share a sentence with you. And when I first heard this sentence, it completely altered the way that I viewed the whole dating game. And hopefully, when I say this to you, it really starts to make you think deeper about this whole thing, right? Because I think a lot of guys who get started with, let's just say, daytime cold approach, because that's the skill that I actually teach, they're very technique focused, right? They think that, oh, if I come and work with Kristian, all he's going to give me is the techniques, right? And yeah, I will do those things. I will give you the technicalities. Like, for example, when you go over to a woman, make sure you approach with conviction within those first few seconds. That means getting nice and close to her, standing in front of her rather than standing to the side, making solid eye contact, having a smile on your face, operating from a place of wholeness rather than from a place of lack, having longer conversations, like being genuinely curious about this woman in front of you, rather than just seeing her as another rep or another number or another fucking notch to your bedpost. It's like, who is this person in front of me? Like, is she cool enough to invite into my reality? So, like, I can give you all the technical things, like that's no problem, but it's not the technique that, in my experience, after coaching hundreds of guys from all across the world, all walks of life, it's not the technique or lack of technique which is necessarily causing their dating problems, right? That sentence, which changed everything for me, is you don't have dating problems. You have personal problems which manifest themselves into dating problems, right? Write that down. I'll say it again, because if you understand and internalize this, it's going to completely change the way you approach the game of life, the game of dating, right? You don't have dating problems. You have personal problems which manifest themselves into dating problems. So maybe right now you're too nice. Maybe you're too much of a people pleaser. Maybe you lack a dominant, assertive, masculine edge. So whenever you go through life, you supplicate, you put people on a pedestal. Maybe you grapple with a perceived lack of self-worth and you think that no matter what you do, you're never going to be good enough. And then you attempt to find salvation in the feminine. But the thing with validation is it almost works, right? It almost works. Right, if you're addicted to getting validation and approval, and I know this because I used to be that person, right? I used to be a very insecure, scared, lost little boy. And when I first started cold approaching 4 years ago, I wasn't going out there necessarily because I wanted the woman. I just wanted to feel wanted, right? I wanted to receive validation, approval, and love from the feminine because I didn't get that as a child, right? So most of our personal problems, they're related to past traumatic experiences. So maybe you didn't receive nourishing love from the feminine as a child. So now when you're going out to cold approach, you're viewing women as your salvation, and that's causing you to come across as needy in your conversations. Or maybe you're impatient, right? So maybe you're an impatient person, which I think is a lot of people in today's world of TikTok brain, right? Like most people can't even sit down and watch a live stream like this without getting distracted. Like most people can't sit down and watch a free piece of content which has the intention of absolutely transforming their lives because they're impatient. Yeah, we live in a generation of distraction artists where we're addicted to immediacy. Oh, I'm not getting results right now. Oh, I'm going to cry. I'm going to throw my toys into a pram. Oh, I went out and I cold approached 10 women and not one of them messaged me back. Oh, it doesn't work. So if you're an impatient person, then that impatience is going to manifest itself into the dating game, right? Rather than thinking in terms of decades, you're thinking in terms of days, and that impatience is castrating you with your confidence. So you don't have dating problems. You have personal problems which manifest themselves into dating problems. So when I explained to you before, when guys work with me, they think, all right, I'm going to come along, I'm going to do some like in-person coaching, Kristian's going to give me the technique, and then I'm going to be on my merry way. That's like phase one of everything that I offer. So yeah, when you work with me, you get individually tailored in-person coaching experience. And the reason why I give this is because what I found to be true is guys, when they first start cold approach, you don't know what you don't know, right? So the reason why we do in-person one-to-one, like none of that group coaching bullshit, right? It's one-to-one because individuals are different, and as an individual, you deserve the appropriate level of care, right? So one-to-one, individually tailored coaching experience. This is to give you the push, right? This is to give you the kick up the ass accountability. This is so I can listen into your conversations, give you feedback on your verbals, your vocals, your tonality, your overall body language, maybe your overall, the way that you're dressing, the way that you're carrying yourself. The in-person is designed to give you that no bullshit feedback, right? So I tell you what you need to know rather than what you want to hear, which is why I say to people, one approach with me is worth about 30 approaches on your own, right? It takes about 100 direct cold approaches to start to develop technical proficiency with cold approach. But like the technical proficiency is just one element, right? So we give you the in-person coaching because that gives you the accountability. We give you the playbook. We hold you accountable for your actions. So now you've got the technicals in place, right? You've got the technicals. But the reason why I provide a 12-month mentorship program, it's not because it's going to take you 12 months to get the results that you want. It might do, right? It might do. And I think this is just very no bullshit transparency here. What you have to understand, and this is so important, what you need to understand is when it comes to the dating game, when it comes to, let's just say, learning cold approach, like learning how to become that version of yourself who can attract the women that he wants rather than settling for the ones he thinks he can get, this isn't an overnight fix. This isn't like a one and done magic bullet solution. This is a complete overhaul of yourself. Right? This is a complete overhaul of everything. This is a full holistic transformation which demands that you metaphorically crucify the version who you've been, right? You reject the person you think you should be in pursuit for the person who you want to be. Right? I'm not focused, when guys work with me, I'm not focused on who they've been in the past. That's what therapy's for. I'm focused on who they want to become. But one of the biggest mistakes, and I think this causes a lot of guys to feel frustrated with the whole cold approach process because they're focused on the wrong thing. They think that the more approaches they do, the more women they're going to get. That can be true if you've become the version of you who can actually attract these women. But like, just approach more girls, bro. It doesn't make sense. If you keep approaching girls in the same way as a version of you who doesn't get results from cold approach, nothing changes because nothing changes. So like, this is a complete overhaul of everything, right? This is like completely transforming the person you are at your very core. This is like going deep inside of yourself and realizing that internal state is external reality, right? If you want to be a god over all of your dating problems, then what that means is you focus just as much effort on improving yourself within as opposed to without, right? The guys who I work with, they're guys who are well put together, right? They're making good money. They can travel the world. They've got location independence. They've got all the materialistic trappings of success. But when it comes to approaching women who they find attractive, they still feel like the ugly duckling inside. They still feel second best to other guys. And it's like, it's because the internal hasn't caught up with the external, right? So, like, the whole reason why I deliver 12 months of mentorship is because everyone's operating on their own timeline, right? Like, there's just too much BS coaching in this space where guys are selling the dream, where it's like, oh, come along to my 1 day, single day boot camp session, change your life in a day. And it's like, there's only so much transformation you can do in a day. Like, yeah, you can improve a lot technically within 1 day, within the right guidance and expertise, but the real game is played within, right? So you don't have dating problems, you have personal problems which manifest themselves into dating problems. So really what this game is about is personal renaissance. It's becoming the version of you who can get results through cold approach or whatever acquisition source you want to try and bring people in. So understand that. Yeah, it's like it's this internal game that we're playing, and it takes time. Right? It takes time to transform yourself, like at your very core, because it's like you're operating on so many like default modes. So it's like we become what we practice, right? The journey of a million miles starts with a single step. Like if you look at the person who I was 4 years ago, right? Just look at the transformation over the years that I was making content, right? It took me the best part of 14 years because I started this whole, like, we'll call it self-improvement journey at 13 years old when I made the decision to become a magician because I had what I thought was severe social anxiety. So I was like, what's the most difficult social thing I can do? Public speaking. Combine that whilst doing a magic trick. Cool, let's do that for a decade. I've been on this odyssey for a long time, and even I still think that I'm only just getting started. Even I have these I grapple with that perceived lack of self-worth. I have these self-deprecating thoughts which enter my mind from time to time. But it's like, if you look at who I was and who I've become today, it doesn't happen by luck, it happens by design. It started with an idea, right? And this is the way that you get through it. This is like, if you're looking for a solution to actually become the version of you who has more women than he knows what to do with, more social status than he knows what to do with, more money, more materialistic, whatever it is, it starts with a thought. It starts with imagination. Imagination is a precursor to creation, right? If you can think it, you can achieve it. But it's like most people today, they're living in the three-dimensional world, right? They don't realize that beyond this realm of just materialistic things, there's a completely other dimension which is going on beyond us in the fourth dimension. And in this dimension, it's like everything that we want, everything that ever has been, everything that ever will be, everything that is, it's all operating here, right? And the universe wants us to win, but it needs us to be clear on what it is that we actually want. Like, when you understand that, I'm just going to put the AC on. When you understand that we are living in a simulation, things are going to change for you. Just look into the work of Neville Goddard. That's a good place to start. But so many people, they're asleep today, and they just see things very three-dimensional. Like, oh, I'm going to go out today. I'm going to do 10 approaches. Oh, I wonder if these girls are going to flake. Oh, yeah, I got on a date. But it's like, they're still the same person. So it's like, it starts off by us metaphorically crucifying the version of us who we currently are and elevating into the version of us who can be a god over all of his dating problems. I think what's really crucial for you boys to understand, or really crucial to actually ask yourself, is why is this actually important to you? Right? Like, imagine you're a guy right now and life is going good. You're financially stable, you've got a good group of friends, lifestyle's in check, your fitness, your fashion, your finances. All that stuff is good. Why is it actually important to you that you get the women's side of life handled? Because I think a lot of times we don't actually sit down with ourselves and think, why is this important to me? Like, the surface level stuff is like, oh, I just want to get laid more. Right, cool. Like, it's just surface level, just so surface level. But like, why? right? Nietzsche said, he who has a strong enough why can bear any how, right? Surface level. Look, if that is your goal, if that's what you think your goal is, you might be in a stage of life where you can't yet comprehend the things that I'm saying. So if that is your goal, then fucking good luck to you. But it's really digging deeper and understanding the true pain points here. So it's like, okay, why do you want to learn cold approach? Oh, you know what, Kristian, I just want to get laid more. Okay, interesting. So why is that important to you, right? And then the deeper that we dig and we follow that trail of whys, you actually find why you're doing these things. So like for a lot of people, it's they want to feel enough, right? They want to feel valid. They want to feel important. They want to feel elevated. They want to feel worshipped. They want to feel wanted. They want to feel as though they actually matter. Maybe they're lonely. Maybe they've never had a relationship in their life and they've seen their other friends all get married and have children, and they're thinking to themselves, like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I have these things, right? So it's like when you actually dig deep and find what the true problem actually is, then you can make something truly magical, right? Like for me, my biggest driving forces have always been the darker side of human emotions, right? I had a weird childhood, right? And my motivation was always fueled by rage or anger, like not feeling enough, always feeling second best, not feeling like I mattered, not feeling wanted. And I derived a lot of my personal progress through that source, like through that pain source, just like not feeling as though I was enough, but at the same time, having this weird dichotomy of emotion where I also thought I was better than everybody else, right? So it's like this, it's a weird mix of emotion. It's like if you think that you're better than everybody else, but at the same time you think that you're an unlovable piece of shit who's never going to be enough for anybody, it's like those emotions like really grind together to make something special. So, but it's like understanding your why is so powerful. Like my next goal financially is to scale my current business to $100,000 per month, right? That's my next goal. I hit $42,000 a month. That was nice. That was cool. But I've got this obsession with progression where I always want to be pushing to the next level. So I sat down with myself the other day. I was like, why do you want that? Like, where's that number come from? Like, why do you want $100,000 a month? Like, why do you want that? And then the more I actually, because like, and I do this exercise with myself. So first of all, it was like, well, why would I not want money? Money's great. Like money's a language of love. It means that I can take care of myself and take care of the people who matter to me more. It's like, okay, I appreciate that. But like, what's really driving you here, Kristian? Like, what's really driving you? And then the deeper I thought about it, I was like, yeah, we're still driven by validation. We're still driven by a sense of status and not feeling enough, feeling that sense of lack. And then maybe once I get $100,000 a month and I can tell people about it, maybe then I'll be able to receive love from the world. And then the deeper that I dug from that, I realized that the true motivator behind my decision was because I wanted to be able to say to my dad that I've just made more money in a month than you've ever made in your entire financial year. Like it was really this fuck you type of move, right? Because for anybody who doesn't know, I had a weird relationship with my dad. My dad always wanted me to, first of all, he wanted me to be a footballer. Then he wanted me to stay in my really small town in the Lake District and get a job in the submarine factory. So everybody in my family works in the submarine factory. It's like family tradition. And around 16 years old, he could get me into the submarine factory. I didn't need any qualifications. He could get me in through the back door, get me really high up. Like he'd put a lot of effort into like putting good words for me. And I just said to him, no. Like, I don't want to work in the submarine factory. I don't want to follow the genetic lineage of all the family who just stay in Barrow in Furness. They're born in Barrow, they get married in Barrow, they get a dog in Barrow, and then they fucking die in Barrow. It's like, I want more from my life than to be stuck in that fucking submarine factory, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, asking my boss, can I go for a shit? And it's like, I saw how miserable he was doing that job, but yet he wanted to put me into that environment because, like, people want to see you do well. They don't want to see you do better than them. So it's like, if I chose to leave Barrow in Furnace, then he would see that as me surpassing him, right? Like, my ambition shone a spotlight to what he could have been, if that makes sense. So it's like, now when I look at myself, I'm like, why are we doing all of these things? Like, why are we doing these things? Like, why did we get started with magic at 13 years old? Why did we start watching self-improvement content at 16? Why did we start cold approaching at 23? Why did we start the YouTube channel? Why did we why do we want to live this international lifestyle? Why? Just why? Right? And so the more that we're actually able to dig and find out what motivates us, then we don't have dating problems anymore. We have personal problems which manifest themselves into dating problems. So I would get super needy in relationships in the past. I would lose myself in relationships because I was scared of losing the relationship. And my that sense of neediness and desperation with a woman came from, I believe, the weird relationship that I had with my mum. Like, always feeling as I was walking on eggshells, always scared of saying the wrong thing in case she got into like a really like high emotional like rage, and that would scare me as a child. So it's so do you understand? So like my relationships with the feminine, they were formed in like trauma, right? So it's like Freud said, the adult is developed to protect the child. It doesn't mean the parent, it means us. Like, we've all got a child inside of us which carries all of those negative emotions. I think part of the masculine journey is becoming the version of ourselves who can be a parent to that version of us. So now, if we go out and a woman's like, sorry, I don't find you attractive, or if we're texting a girl and like the conversation dies, or if we get a number and it flakes, it's like those emotions are going to come up from the child inside. But it's like, it's okay. I've got us. We're going to be okay. Like, I've got you. I always used to turn my nose up advice, which was like, if you want to receive love, you have to give it to yourself first. But it's like, I think those type of aphorisms they've become diluted in meaning through like memes and cliche Instagram posts. But this really is an internal game, right? I give a complete step-by-step blueprint. Like, if you really want to rewire your internal system, if you really want to elevate and become the version of yourself who can achieve all the things that you know you want to achieve, like, I put it all in that free course. It's called my Most Fuckable Man course. It's a completely free course. It's a course that I wish had been available to me when I started Cold Approach 4 years ago, because it would have saved me so much time, right? Like, if I hadn't have learned the things that I've learned, there's no way that my clients would be as successful as they are, because the technical side of things, that is just about 10% of what's really going on here, right? It's not what you say, it's not how you say it, it's who you are when you say it. You can have the best verbals, you could stand in the exact right position, your body language could be on point, you could be head to toe in the best dressed uniform on the planet, but if that internal is out of sync, if you don't love and respect yourself, if you don't operate from that place of wholeness, then no woman's going to want to be with you. You're going to be radiating that weird type of aura where she's like, what the fuck's going on with this guy? So you don't have dating problems. You have personal problems which manifest themselves into dating problems. And part of what I do when I work with guys is, I give them the technicals, I give them the in-person coaching, but it's like, what's really going on here? Like, why do you want this skill? Why do you want to attract women? Why do you want a girlfriend? Why do you want a wife-worthy woman? Why do you want a complete overhaul of your life? Like, what's really going on here? Just like really digging deep into why people are doing what they're doing, understanding we're all animals responding to incentives, right? The world's motivated by self-interest. We all want the best deal for ourselves, and ultimately, we all just want to feel good, right? We all just want to feel good. So what I would advise that you do is, first of all, just understand that core principle. It's not dating problems that you're struggling with, it's personal problems, right? So the course that I've created, that free course, just go and download it now. It's completely free. And if you've got any semblance of value from this video, then what's in that course? It's the mindset mastery module. We talk about creating a personal renaissance document, acting as if you already are that version of you. Like, everything's in there, right? So if you enjoyed this live stream, link below in the description, just go over, download that free course. It's like a 3-step process for becoming the version of you who you actually want to become. right? So if you enjoyed this live stream, drop it a like. I'll speak with you boys tomorrow. Download the free course, My Most Fuckable Man course. There's another course as well. It's called Conversation Killer. But understand, it's not about learning techniques. It's becoming the version of yourself who can apply these techniques, right? You don't have dating problems. You have personal problems, which manifest themselves into dating problems. I really hope this has been useful. Drop some love in the comments if you're a real one. And make sure you subscribe and have notifications turned on, because I do not have an upload schedule. So I just upload these live streams whenever I'm in the mood for it. All right, boys. Love you. Mwah.